Yeah, we just had a little private joke there. Anyway. But back to the lounge and back to we talking about domestic violence for those of you who just tuned in. And we're talking with Timika and her group. And we're gonna Shavonda, I'm not good with names, so Siobhan is going to tell us a little bit more about the group and what it does and how we go out into the community and help. Siobhan?
So our group help men, women, or families that are in immediate need of housing. So we will assist them with finding a safe place to go if they're currently going through a situation. We also help with coping skills, mentoring. We will offer basic financial classes, teaching how to budget, how to save money. We'll also help those who would need assistance with interviewing, assistance with building their resume. Also, Timika is in the process of becoming a life coach, so we will be able to assist with that as well. We also have a GED and tutoring program. So we have men and women who will need to get their GED. We now offer a program that would assist them with that as well.
All right, y'all offering a lot of incentives, you know, I mean, because I know when you first come out of a relationship, especially when that was your own financial needs, it's hard to get back into doing things for yourself and making those connections. So y'all put everything, all the eggs in one basket to get, so that's a great foundation for somebody to come out of.
Yes.
You know, so where exactly can anybody, y'all have a website?
Yes, we do have a website. It's www.thefacesbehindapurposeforyou.org. We do have a Facebook page, The Faces Behind a Purpose for You. So we encourage you to like our Facebook page, follow us. We do have some upcoming events that we will be doing. We are doing our fundraiser on March the 2nd at Applebee's, where 20% of your meal will be donated to our organization. We also will be partnering with Cave as well, as they have some awesome upcoming events. They have one March the 7th at 3006 East Laburnum Avenue, Worship and Praise Deliverance Church, under our great pastors, Timothy and Michelle Curvin. They will be doing a Stop the Violence Town Hall meeting. Well, I encourage some of the domestic violence organizations to please come out and attend so we can get together to see how we can break the silence in the communities. They'll also be doing a health drive on March the 25th as well at MLK from 11 to 2 p.m. So we encourage you to come out and get involved with the communities. So that is basically our goal with this organization. When I started this organization, I stated to my team that we're not going to be an organization just to say that we're an organization. We're going to get out here and get into the communities, educate, and break the silence. We want to help the communities. We truly want to help. We don't want to just be out there and nobody's utilizing the service. So we go out in the communities, pass out our pamphlets. So you'll be seeing us in the communities.
That's good. That's what most communities need. I remember I was talking to my church, they was talking about going out into the communities. And I suggest going out to certain communities, and it's like, oh, I'm scared. Okay, if you go scared, why are you in the program?
And walk in fear.
You know, and that's another thing I found out. One issue that I'm getting ready to touch up on, and that's a lot of domestic violence and our low-income housing. But they call it's the projects. I was grew up in the projects myself, and I know there's a lot of abuse going on in there, and it's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of some of everything going on there. Violence, drugs, everything. So it's hard to keep our young women from falling into these abusive relationships when you got all these additives. You know, I got a drug dealer boyfriend who buys me the world, but yet he knocks me senseless whenever he get high. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, or I got this sugar daddy, because you have these older men messing with these younger girls that buy me the world, but yet he's controlling. I can't do this, I can't do that. Ladies, this is a form of abuse.
And love don't hurt.
Exactly. You know, so I say, and it's just so much. I mean, this topic right here just covers so much, because you have people like me, like myself, and everybody knows that watching my shows knows that I'm an advocate for people with bipolar, because I am bipolar. You know, and a lot of the domestic violence, domestic relationship that I was in was due to the fact that I was bipolar. A lot of it was really living in denial. So not only have I been abused, I have also been an abuser. Yeah. Because my illness triggers violence in me, and when that triggers the violence, I'm not going to hurt myself, because you have some people with bipolar that will hurt themselves, and then you have the aggressive bipolar like myself who will hurt other people, because we figure in our mind, I'm not going to get, the only way to get rid of the problem is to get rid of you. And the only way to get rid of you is to get rid of you permanently, because you're going to keep coming back. So in order to break the cycle of me thinking you're out to hurt me, I'm going to get you first, because that's the mindset you've been in. I got to get you before you get me. Now, I'm bringing this up because I feel that domestic violence and bipolarism, mental illness, go hand in hand. A lot of the abusers that we have out here are bipolar and don't know it and don't want to admit it. Now, and the reason it escalates is because being a bipolar and denial, you have a tendency to self-medicate. When you self-medicate, that means you're doing drugs, you're drinking, you're doing this, you're doing that, to suffocate the pain that you're feeling inside. You know what I'm saying? So, in order to release, and then so here comes this other person that's up here, and you thinking to yourself, wow, she's just living so. It's so easy. Look at her. She having a blessing. I'm miserable over here, and she's smiling and whatever. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna knock her upside the head. Or I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna tell him that he's less than a man to make so he can feel the way I feel. You know. So, I like I said, I do believe that domestic violence and bipolarism do go hand in hand, and that's also. And the young man out here that don't want to be on the TV, but he's sitting in the audience out there stating, you know, drug abuse, and most men who are out here who have hurt these women, who have taken a life, has done it high up on some type of stimulant. They were not in their right mind. They were so high up on something that they got angry and they got out of control and took it to a level that it didn't have to go or wouldn't have went to had it not been on some type of stimulant. You know, so like I said, you have to educate on all levels, because domestic violence is partnered with drug abuse. Substance abuse, all around, alcohol, drugs, weed. Weed is a drug. Yes, people, weed is a drug. And it's so much. I mean, pills. You got these things, what they call them? Woofies, uppies. Divvies, yeah. You got all these, yeah, okay. You got all these things that these young kids are doing.
They think there's nothing wrong with popping pills.
Yeah.
They think it's okay.
And then they doing the pill and topping it off with the alcohol. And then topping that off with the weed.
It's bad.
And then topping that off with tobacco, because tobacco is a drug also. When you mix it with the weed and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we have to open up the box. Open up the box, because it's so many levels to this thing. It's not just about you're in a bad relationship and all this stuff. It's so much stuff that goes into this violence that's so out of control and running rapid without young people. You know what I'm saying? At one time, domestic violence was something back in the, way back in the day. You don't hear about that stuff, Women have come a long way, so they don't go deal with domestic violence. That's fabrication. Because I don't care how high up on the corporate ladder you get, I don't care how up in the world you get or whatever. Domestic violence, you are prone to it. It can come at you from any direction and in any color, flavor, however it comes. But the only way to avoid it is to know it when you see it. And that's what these ladies are, and organizations like theirs are out here trying to do. Help us to know it when you see it. Because if he gonna call you a B, he don't love you. And if he call it to you once, baby, trust me, he gonna trust you. He gonna do it again. And if he push you and playing, trust me, he's gonna try. One day he gonna try to push you, and he ain't gonna play.
Or any hand gesture.
You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, my kids when they was growing up, I don't do the violence thing. I didn't know, ain't no wrestling. We ain't playing no wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We not playing this touch your hand thing, because when you start playing, it leads to serious business. And like she said about teaching your kids when they're young, if you don't let your kids play wrestling and the boys and the girls and all this stuff when they're little, they won't grow up thinking that it's okay.
That's right.
Because it all starts with playing. Your boyfriend, your husband. Oh, boo, I'm just playing, and he gonna push you like that, and he push you back.
That's what happened.
Oh, baby, I'm just joking, pow. Oh, I ain't mean that. Come on, these are just tests to see how far you are willing to let him go. That's right. That's all it is. He's testing the waters.
And another thing too, with the teenagers, I've learned from talking about domestic violence, teenage dating. The girls think it's cute when the guys text them and, where you at? What you doing? You home? No. That's the side of controlling to see your every move. So, you know, it's important that we also educate our youth, our teenagers as well, because they think it's, oh, he loved me. That's not love. That's a sign of control. So it's you know, we have to educate our teenagers, teach them healthy relationships, unhealthy relationships, red flags. You know, a healthy relationship is built off communication, trust, and respect. Respect is the most important. You must have respect for one another. So, you know, it's important that we educate at all levels, not just at men and women, children, teenagers, all levels. It's important that we educate them.
And not just relationships, but friendships as well. You know, if you're in a friendship and you're being treated any way that makes you uncomfortable or any way that you feel you shouldn't be treated, that's not healthy. And the best way to go ahead and resolve it is to get out. You know, don't allow anyone to treat you less than what you would treat yourself. And that's what a relationship, and that's what a friendship, man or woman or children, youth, is across the board.
Your boss too. Even on your workplace too. I know a lot of people getting abused on their workplace, and they don't. That's their only means of income, and they're sitting there taking a lot of abuse because they don't have no other income coming in, and they don't know if they're gonna find another good job like that. But that's what they need to do.
It is about faith, but you know, some people are not at that point.
Right.
And it's a lot of women out here that they stay in relationships because they have children, which is a bad way to do, because I know a lot of women that do stay in relationships, or some people stay in relationships just because they ain't trying to give up nothing. Right.
Well, I know I stayed in my relationship because I wanted my son to be raised by his dad. You know, I stayed for a long time because of that.
And I stayed because I wanted to do right by the words.
Right.
And then you have, like I said, people who stay for the children because they want to be, but then you have women and men who stay in unhealthy relationships because the lifestyle. They don't want to give up the lifestyle.
Yeah, I did.
You don't want to give up the lifestyle. I mean, I got a nice big house. I'm riding around in my Bentley. I'm going to give all this up. If he want to hoop and holler, let him hoop and holler. Let him call me this. Let him call me that. But you got to realize, especially when you got kids in the house, they're looking, they're watching, and it's just going to keep on. And then they're going to leave home, and then they're going to do it. And forbid if you have a daughter, because she's going to think, long as he buying me these things, it's all good what he said out of his mouth. Or it's all good if he accidentally claimed to have knocked me and gave me a blackout. It was an accident. You know, so we have to know, we have to watch out for these things. Young women, older women, it doesn't matter. Men, because men get knocked upside the head too. They don't want to mention it. And it's the most secretive thing out there in the world today, I believe. Men are not going to step up and say, oh yeah, I let this little bitty woman beat me, you know what I'm saying? But women can be just as vicious and just as violent. And they might not be vicious as physical, because they say a man came in, but the mouth. We can say stuff out of the mouth that will make a man want to tear you into 3 pieces. And it takes a strong man to walk away from a situation like that. A very strong Christian man. Because if you ain't that guy, you will knock it out. I mean, that's just my opinion, you know. But we have men also who are being abused by women by holding their kids away from them. Which is very abusive to a man. To refrain them because they don't want to do what you want to do, or you're not going to see your child. That's abuse, men, women. That is abuse. That's mental abuse, emotional abuse. Depriving somebody of their child because you can't have your way is an abusive move. And a lot of women don't see it as that, but it is. Is it because now you're trying to be in control of him? So the cycle domestic violence, it flips back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know, and until everybody comes forth, I mean, men, you have to step up. It's no shame in saying, okay, you know, this woman is doing this and this woman is doing that. Because I think a guy, Mr. Leggett, I think it's his name, got a nonprofit organization who help gentlemen try to get connected who got the mothers out there that are depriving them of the right to see their children. You know, so he's helping them, assisting them with things the way to get their legal processes of getting that fixed. But domestic violence, you know, it's a lot. And I hope somebody's out there listening, whoever is out there listening, I hope you're learning and you're actually hearing what we're saying. It's a scary, and believe me, it's really scary to take that step and say, okay, I've had enough. It's devastating. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a devastating thought to say, okay, I got to step out on here because when I first stepped out and said enough was enough, I was homeless. I had no job. I had nowhere to stay. I had no vehicle. I had nothing. You know, all I had was my faith in God. But you know, He brought me through, you know, so it's not easy, and you're gonna, you know, and sometimes you have family that will help you, but I was alone in South Carolina, you know, I was alone, my father lived in North Carolina, my mother passed away, so I really was alone, I can't, and not ego, somewhat, I'm not putting my burden on my children, even though they're older, you know what I'm saying, but, I walked that walk, you know, but God sent people. You know what I'm saying? Strangers, people came, you know, and was like, I heard you, I feel you, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So, just because you step out alone, you're not going to be alone. You're not going to be alone because the good Lord says is going to send that boat, like they said in the Bible, to save you. And to get you to the next level, and to take you to the next level after that. And then when they finish their purpose, He's going to send you another group of people that's going to take you to the next level. And the next level. God is going to always send you somebody to assist you on your journey to freedom and victory. Yes. You know, because it's going to glorify Him in the end. So He's not going to let you step out there on His land and fall. Right. That He's not going to do. Right. So you just got to have faith and trust that God got you. Yeah. These people right here are here to help you. And if you need to find out other organizations, because they're going to contact, once you hook up with Timika and them, they're going to hook you up with the next set of people that's going to take you to your next journey. You know, so all it is about is connecting. They're here, Timika. I'm not good with names, so y'all please forgive me. You know, give them your website again and everything so that they can, we're going to follow Timika on Facebook. Timika is my Facebook friend. That's how I actually connected with them through Facebook. So they're there. All you have to do is take the plunge.
Yes, you can contact.
That's all you have to do.
You can contact us at, our number is 804-729-2229, or the website is www.thefacesbehindapurposeforyou.org. And we are here for you. We're here for you from the beginning to the end, and even after you have gone through the trial and tribulations, we're still going to be there for you.
So you're not alone. Men, it's time for y'all to come out and get the help that y'all need. There's organizations out there for you too as well. And Timika them also help men and women. It's not like they're going to get a bullhorn. You know, it's private. You can call them, email them, inbox them. They're there for you. Me, I have organizations and we do homeless. You don't do homeless, we do friendships, neighbors, and stuff like that. I hate the word homeless because I don't believe that as long as God is with us, everybody's going to have somewhere to stay eventually. But, you know, and it's all about all these non-profit organizations getting together. Like she said, they're having a forum. When is the forum? March the 7th. And non-profit organizations, y'all need to come out to this. Everybody, I don't care what kind of non-profit organization, if you're doing something in the community, you need to be there. You know, you need to be there because too many young people are leaving this world before their time. And babies are being left without parents. Either their parents are deceased or their parents are behind bars. Because of something is missing. You know, my kids, they so love, but see me as being growing up in an abusive home and all this stuff, I didn't know how to show the love. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, one of my daughters wound up in a domestic violence relationship and almost lost her life. And that's what really kind of like woke me up because it was the grace of God that this man didn't take my child away from me. You know what I'm saying? Even though she do suffer with post-traumatic stress disorders and stuff like that, but she's come a long way and she's having her own. But at the same time, if it wasn't for the abuse that she witnessed as a child, for me being not strong enough, or for me not knowing and educating enough, then she might not have been in there. So some of us as domestic parents who have been through domestic violence, and we find our old children as they get older going through the same thing, we have a tendency to feel some type of responsibility saying that if I had them. I'm here to tell you, forget the if I had them. Don't worry about what's in the past and that's something you can't change. Help them get the knowledge they need now to avoid being in those situations ever again. And like I said, these organizations like Timika is here for you. Reach out. If it's not for yourself, if you know a friend, if you know anybody, reach out to them and give them a name. Say, look, I got a friend who needs help. I mean, she's not going to come to you, but is there any way possible I can get with you and take you and introduce you to her? Help your friend. Because some of us ain't not strong enough to leave. I wasn't strong enough to leave. You know, I kept coming and going. You know, it was crazy. You know, so exactly. You never know. That gesture might be the thing that make her live a little bit longer. Because keeping silent friends, true friends, you silent, you're only hurting your friends. Help them out of the box. Help them get the help they need, and get ready to the lady and become a survivor like these ladies here. Thank you for joining us at the lounge. We'll see you next week when I have a psychologist that's coming on, another nonprofit organization. I'm sorry, my psychologist isn't coming on until the last show. And he has a group that's helping men get back into the world after being incarcerated for so long. So I hope to see you then. Phones are open. Have a good night. May God be with you. Have a blessed day. Amen.
Woo! Good job, ladies.